Ellen Rittberg is next. She is a poet, a novelist, a playwright. She's been published in, among other things, the Long Island Quarterly, and I believe the Kansas Quarterly, is it? Funny enough, that's where Lois is from, Kansas. So we saw Ellen read at when the poets were installing Max Wheat as poet laureate of Nassau County. Kim and I looked at each other, knew we wanted to book her for today, but before we could even get to her, we saw Susan Blake go over and write her a little note, because I think she wanted to book her too. So obviously she made quite an impression that day. And we want to share with you today what we saw that day. Ellen, if you come up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian, for that kind introduction. Sometimes we write a poem, it's an old poem, we revisit it, and it's almost as if we are revisiting a former self. Brussels, Belgium. I'm just going to give you the translation of two things that are in this poem. For those of you that don't speak French, one of them is Je vous en prie, which means excuse me. And that's what they use for excuse me in Belgium. And the other word that you might not know is, you'll just figure it out within the poem. Jean-Jacques. The room you took me up to was as foreign as you were, as your name which I could not pronounce was, as your country, object of numerous conquests was. Night, cold, your car had no heat, or you did not turn it on. The cold sat in my lap and attacked. Bouncing over cobblestones, we passed rows and rows of dumb brown homes, Bruegels, burgers. Je vous en prie, the women chirped as they attended to me in department stores, as they served me waffles, sugar-flecked, gaufres at outside corner kiosks under clouds. Earlier, at a basement soiree, through din of conversation, we danced, tete-a-tete, drinking each other in, heavily. You inquired how my life went, the usual. You laughed, face tilted up. The world was on fire, there was a war in the Middle East, the winner uncertain. Your mother was an elegant, now round survivor of Auschwitz. Her husband, long dead. Her brood, a trio of trim, chic children. Every moment seemed sustained, urgent. We danced some more, perhaps wildly, the music throbbing, and then we were alone. Je vous en prie, the attendant said as they stood beside me at sinks in train station washrooms, handing me paper towels for a franc, always smiling, saying, Merci, mademoiselle, a song upon slightly elevated tongue, as if they always knew me, a woman of constant comings and goings. In someone's apartment, we burrowed under covers, clods of dust danced, bare light bulb on. Your hair shone and crested a rooster's. Small hips, dark eyes, full lips, smile and enlightened despots. Je vous en prie, I'm sorry, pardon me, the whole world apologetic on trains. Brussels, Belgium, hills round as Flemish faces, hand-dipped chocolates, a firm handshake, the lingua franca. The most famous tourist attraction, a naked boy passing water. Oh, the French, how they speak. Hi, lilting, how you laughed, Jean-Jacques. A high timbre, a bell. I can laugh now, I was younger. Still, Jean-Jacques, why did you not love my smile? You I can forget, but I'll not soon forget how you tried to ignite me, match on a windy day, blasted match, defective. Je vous en prie, I say to you, if my life offends you, may I serve you a gaufre, may I offer you un chocolat. Thank you. As I am a Long Island poet, I try to observe nature, and one of the things I discover as I get older is that I notice things like the constellations, like things around me, like birds. And this is called Consider the Constellations. Consider the constellations. Huntresses bow, chariots churning, hurtling, burning, spinning, lost. Like cities under sea, stars spill across the sky. Through winter, sun, the world blazes in tough brilliance. Blossoms hold tight to themselves like babies' fists. A despot might call it insolence. I must remember to praise sunrise, must look inside the commotion, the jumble, the jigsaw, the jewel weave, to stumble, to trod on, to live, to love, the leaf, my face, the sun. Ah, world, perfectly formed oak gall, prickly, obdurate world, infinite in brown, at dawn as it settled like a comeliness, a shawl. O knotted skein, O clotted world, convergent world, us, all. That's enough. I think we all like Greek mythology. At some point, everybody studied Greek mythology. This is my Greek mythology poem. They follow her with their eyes, ready to attach themselves to her. They come ashore. She shakes off her composure, like sleep, and they are fooled by it. She breaks herself off in pieces, like taffy. The sea enters her, the men advance on her. For centuries, she sits at her islet with no outlet, a small Hellenic trade route post. She sees all. She lives alone. And those who come to call are consumed by her lizard eye glance, her berry red hellion craw. I like the woman's pluck. Power, sorry, I like her pluck. I'm not getting the time. This is called the geese spring. Another thing you find about the suburbs is you have a lot of geese because you have a lot of open spaces, and many people in the suburbs detest the geese. And there was this Vietnam veteran that lived close to our home. He owned a gas station, and he actually used to feed the geese, and somebody poisoned the geese, and somehow it's like his whole world just came apart. I mean, the geese were like all he had. It's very sad. This is called the geese spring. Crossing the street in enfilade, they pause as they observe traffic. Cross perpendicular to it. First a mother goose, then the others, and only then does the downy beige brood go. Unerring in their instinct, preservation is all to mother geese, except themselves. We onlookers, we car sitters, see the geese cross, pulled to the side of the road, and we smile. But one car does not, slamming a goose, killing it, thinking what? That it is paper, snot, piffle, ordure, or not thinking. Man is not purposive on the order that geese are. Until that moment, festive almost, it made us chuckle, chortle, marvel, made us believe that to get across is moral code, social order, and we strangers shared this moment from our cars, emitting throaty laughs from the neck. And for that moment, we were in concert with, consonant with life. In the world there is a breach, those who go and those who think before going. It pains me each spring, the carnage of the mother bird, that singular moment that had been elation, life full, stirred up, became life extirpated, as surely as a buttercup stomped, spring told. In the death moan, if it is that, comes a coarse lesson that we do not know the known, the unknown, the ones we know, the ones we chance upon, the ones we choose to know. Are we the geese, as if we never were? My plotting nature, to this gift of thought I ask, to what end is all this? To what? Do I have time for one more? This is a poem called Not All the Folly of Man Combined. Windy. Only ghostly flowers of trees remain. Leaves drift like snow upon concrete path. Upon my head, my hair. Nothing deters the seasons, not yet. Not all the folly of man combined. My fair skin seeks succor of sun, knowing full well its power. I smell my face frying, oil on low flame in pan, rendered giddy by the sensation. One sun wounded me, my freckled, speckled skin. Now I bear a scar on calf, my badge of honor, living with the elements, lattice work, flamboyant. I wear it proudly. Once a child on Brighton Beach, trotting through boiling sand, while grandma played canasta, I grew blisters the size of jujubes on my shoulders. They burst open on my nightie, leaving me soaked, ravished. Skin hung from me, clung to me. I peeled it off. Now older by 20 and some, I like the idea. Shedding myself, my skin, covering myself up now, clothed, now cloaked against the sun, a party favor to myself. Inside I shuck the unneeded, find even in the husk exists a beauty eternal, mine, others, the world, wise to its torment, this racing, raging sun. My mind drinks it, sucks upon it, at dawn, late in the day, an amputee, phantom limb, a phaeton to the heavens. Displeasured by the gods, I crash. I avoid it mostly, but I can't. I need it. It is my impetus, my undoing, my Icarus, my Daedalus. Once young, still young, aging, craving, death without death. A cicada shell surrounded by the electric hymn, death dirge of cicadas, drawing strength in numbers, in numbness, in slumber, in lumbering, in shambling, in shedding, in dissembling, in being dissolute by doing nothing. I draw strength in the moon, sky, landmass, phragmites, crabs, forms, bodies, breath, in cannabula, life, getting it right by getting into the gel, the stew. Impermanence of self is the promise of, if not wisdom, then peace. Thank you.